Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So welcome to another monster spotlight. Today we have the Dark NEZHA by Nightleave, and I'm going to be testing out in Golden Speed 10 because she is an attack type monster. I'm going to be kind of doing like a slow review, basically going with armor breakers, testing out her damage and seeing what she can do. The really special thing about the Dark NEZHA, she's a pretty effective self-healer. She has a pretty nice skill set. Basically her first skill just self-sustains, and her second skill has an 80% defense down for 2 turns. The other thing is Nightleave actually has her as a variant with a 33% defense lead. So I'll actually use her in the defense or in the leader slot because I think it's kind of fair if the monster itself has the leader skill. I think it's kind of fair that I can use it in the leader slot. And it doesn't really matter because it's not really an attack lead. We're basically just going to be going in, showing off her damage on armor, like non-armor broken units and armor broken units, and basically testing out her healing as well, because the really cool thing about the Dark NEZHA is her self-sustain. If you use her in PvP defense, she'll basically almost always be able to heal herself back to full HP if you have her gemmed with enough attack. It basically, when attacks say greatly restore, it basically just did I just use basically in four times in one sentence? It restores her HP. It restores her HP by 100% of the damage dealt. So the more damage that she deals, the more HP that she restores. The other good thing is, if you want to gem her for PvP, you might not necessarily want to gem her like full attack and basically kind of use her as a bruiser. I think these types of monsters are a little bit harder to gem because not only will you need to focus on their attacks, you also need to focus a little bit on their attacks, get a little bit of tankiness. At the same time, if you plan to not get CC'd to death, you also need a little bit of resist as well. So he has her on a crit rate, defense, attack rune set. I think this is definitely the way to go, using a defense gem. Basically, if you have defense, it means higher damage mitigation and not as much HP needed to heal. So she can heal back, like I think on most crits she will be able to heal back like maybe 60 or 70% of her HP. But this is just me kind of guessing with the numbers that I have here. He has her with this one has a 21% crit or 21% defense substat. It also has a 15% HP, so this is actually a pretty good tanky rune crit rate gem. And this one has 13.5% crit, has a bit of attack, so that's actually not too bad. This one also has 13% crit and 11% crit damage here. A little bit of resist, HP. Basically, all these substats are good. So I think she's pretty decently gemmed. It's not 100% crit rate, but it is a ruin set. So if she crits, she will actually be doing even more damage because of the 40% crit damage. I think this adds up to 89.5. Actually, no. You get 4%. So it's like 93.5, right? My math should be right. Plus the base 10%. Yeah, it should be 93.5 crit rate, if my math isn't wrong. And my math is very, very bad, so we're gonna go in with no offensive synergies, no attack, no crit damage. Actually, I don't think there's a crit damage synergy, is there? No attack synergies. Basically, just all. The only thing I can allow is basically just defensive synergies. So I'm gonna go in is with my usual team that I use for spotlights. Where is he? Oh crap, I put him in storage. RIP. I put him in storage for the I put a lot of my dark monsters temporarily in storage for the summoning video, because I was actually running out of room. We need the Dark Thor to armor break, we need the Dark Kira to attack bar boost. So that's pretty much all we need right now. Alright, let's go in again. This time I have all my monsters. Alright, so we're going to include the Dark Thor for the armor break. basically to make sure that we can see her full damage potential with the armor break. I'm not going to include anything special, no exposed weakness, no shock, no nothing. Just basic armor break. A lot of monsters have this, and this is pretty standard for reducing or increasing your damage. The other two monsters I'm going to use are attack bar boosters. Usually I would use Light Siren, but I think I want to see her AoE a little bit more, see if she can hit hard with that. That has a high attack multiplier with her base attack, or not base attack, but like her attack, and kind of see, like, you know, how many hits she does, because I'm not too familiar with the NEZHAs. I never really raised one. The RGB versions are mostly for Titans, so I didn't really bother raising them. But she actually is an attacker that you can use in PvP and anywhere else that you need to nuke. So we're just going to go in with this. As you can see, no offensive synergies, basically just only defense and HP. So we're not cheating here. Even the leader skill is defense. There's no like bonus attack from anything. So this is just her raw potential, alright? Alright, we're gonna test out her damage on the Dark Moonflower, and basically we're just gonna go in without the armor break. 2, 3. I think her attack animation is pretty cool, but it does seem pretty slow. It's 8k per hit for 3 hits, so that's like 24k. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm gonna armor break this Moonflower. So next turn we can see her damage on the Moonflower. I'm just gonna nuke this Moonflower kind of hard, so my Succubus doesn't die in one turn. But I doubt that would happen. All right, so this turn we're gonna hit this Dark Moonflower, and this will probably overkill her by a lot, and probably do a lot more damage on armor break. So basically 16k. It's like double the damage from before. Not bad, not bad at all. I forgot to take a look at how much it heals, but I think it heals for 100% of the damage dealt. If it says greatly restores HP, so we'll see how much it heals per hit. Yeah, it does. It heals for 100% of the damage dealt, which is actually quite sick if you think about it, because you can use her in like PvP and stuff, and as long as she doesn't die in one turn, because she only has 30k health, she will max heal herself. And if you have more like HP substats and stuff, it would actually be really, really good. She can have a higher like effective HP pool, like a higher effective HP pool. So with her defense and HP combined, she won't die in one turn, and then you have a little bit of resistance on her. I think it's a little bit hard to gem because you need 4 stats. You need crit rate, resistance. I probably would not use a ruin set. I think it's a little bit overkill, because of how many stats you need. Like I might actually do something like conviction, so she can have like at least 40 or 50-ish percent-ish resist I can get from substats. At the same time, I would try to boost her crit to 100%, kind of like my old Gatito set when I had him on intuition. But I think if you use like an intuition or a conviction set, you could probably do it. But I think this ruin set's also quite good, because if you pair her up with another dark attacker that has more attack, like the Dark Seedler, it's very likely that you will be able to one-shot a lot of monsters, especially if they're light as well. You're it's not just light monsters that counters dark. Dark also counters light. So we're gonna go in right now with her AoE, and we're gonna see how much damage this does. Now I'm gonna actually armor break this Sparkler, so we can see the damage difference between the two. This should crit. She has pretty high crit rate. Unfortunately, I was not able to see the numbers on this guy, but she does have a pretty high chance to land the armor break as well. So she basically has an 80% chance to land the armor break, which is really, really high. You can pretty much almost always land it. If you can get it off, chain that with another AoE, and that should be pretty good. For farming, it's quite nice. For farming stages, usually when a monster gets their bar full, I can't even talk right now. Usually when a monster gets their bar full, another monster might also have their bar full as well. So two monsters nuke at the same time in Golem Speed 10. It's very likely that they'll pretty much kill everything. So you can kind of use her in your attack team for Golem Speed 10 if you happen to have her as well. Alright, so we're gonna... I guess we'll just hit this Moonflower. I think her attack animation is actually quite cool. Where it's max heal really quick. Alright, we're gonna armor break this Moonflower and just nuke it super hard. I did not actually even see how many hits that she does on her second skill. It must have been over 7. That was quite a lot of hits. Alright, I guess we'll finish this side off first. That little thing is a little bit annoying. I'll just put up the heal, make sure everyone's safe. Unfortunately, Golem did put attack down on me, so I'll be doing like half damage. But she still should be hitting pretty hard, especially on armor break, even with the attack debuff. I think the most practical use for the Dark NEZHA definitely is PvP offense. Unlike a lot of other Dark attackers, she's not too afraid of a lot of the people that are running, like a lot of the light monsters that people are running right now, if you have her gemmed right. So basically, to counter the debuff monsters like Light Thor and stuff, you will need to have a little bit of resist, so she doesn't get shocked and just die instantly. Against Light Shiva, because you're going to be gemming her like kind of with one slot defensive, basically like an attacker build, it's unlikely that she's going to get one shot, and you don't have to be too afraid of aggressors either. So I think she actually has a lot of potential in PvP, as long as you have the gems to support her. I don't even know how many hits her second skill does, but that silence is definitely really annoying. But even with the silence, I think she can still heal herself with a max heal. So basically, the thing that makes her so strong is if you don't CC her or stun her, it's quite likely that she's going to get a max heal like every single turn. Now this is without the armor break against a golem with very, very high armor, so she might not be able to max heal herself. Never mind, I was wrong. Never mind, I was wrong. So as long as she can resist like really threatening debuffs, like shock, there's not too many defense down. Even defense down doesn't really nerf her that much. Mainly shock and stun, some sort of CC, and pretty much getting one shot, which is somewhat unlikely because if you're going to be gemming her somewhat tanky, then you can kind of use her as a bruiser build. So she can be like an alternative to aggressors if you have other monsters that can self-sustain. I think that actually might be pretty strong. Like 4 dark monsters that have some sort of self-sustain. The other self-sustain like monsters aren't that good, because if it's like an adrenaline monster, it's actually not that good. You know, like Dark Lat or Dark Kiki, it only heals for 20%. But like a Dark NEZHA, even with a 1 slot defensive gem, is just max healing every single turn. So you know, there's a pretty big difference there. Alright, this Golem won't let us test out our damage because it keeps putting defense down on us. But even with that, we're still wrecking them. Alright. Okay, wait. We just gotta wait one more turn. One more turn. One more turn, and I'll nuke this golem hard with our second skill. Alright, I was actually not able to see how many hits that she does on her second skill. I'm not too familiar with the NEZHAs. I never raised one, so I don't really know. Haven't seen too many in action. I don't really see any NEZHAs in like PvP defense or anything like that, so I really have no idea. Most of the RGB NEZHAs are used for Titans, so that's kind of why. But we're gonna nuke this golem. I think it's, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was 5 hits, so I was actually wrong. I can't count. I can't count when it's like too fast, but I think that was definitely 5 hits. It's 5 hits of 10k on a armor broken golem speed 10. Alright, retribution, right? Watch this max heal. There we go. That was a 49k self heal. She doesn't seem that too OP on paper, but I think if you have the right gems and stuff, she can be a beast. Like, just having 4 of her on offense would actually be pretty insane. Yeah, alright, let's let her do the honors and finish off the golem. Oh my god, you failed. You failed me! Alright, try number 2. She's actually quite good for farming, killing golems as well. Because even with all, like, especially B10, even with all the golems debuffs, nothing's really much of a threat to her. So even if you have high resistance, the silence doesn't really do much. The attack down, the defense down, she's not really too afraid of those. And also basically, if you don't CC her, she should give you a lot of trouble. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is it for the Dark NEZHA Spotlight. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was like usual Spotlight videos, a little bit shorter than others, but I thought it was pretty fun. And I actually kind of want her now. Like, I wish I could have one and build, and like, this is the type of monster I really want to try. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.